Donald Trump has granted clemency to Alice Marie Johnson. She is a woman who has spent decades behind bars and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole due to her involvement in a drug trafficking ring. Now, she never possessed drugs. She was convicted of conspiracy to possess cocaine, and she also played a role in communicating between individuals in this drug ring. And as a result, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She had no prior record, and she has been incredibly remorseful since this crime was committed, and she says that she did it because she was in a desperate situation. She had lost her job, she had lost her son, she had just divorced, and she had no money to take care of her kids, and she felt that she had no other choice at the time. Now, Trump has granted her clemency, which is great news, and this is following a meeting that he had with Kim Kardashian in the Oval Office just last week. She has specifically been fighting to pardon Alice Marie Johnson. She did not get a full pardon. So clemency means that her sentence is commuted, but this crime is still on her record. Now, here's what the White House said in a statement. Ms. Johnson has accepted responsibility for her past behavior and has been a model prisoner over the past 2 decades. While this administration will always be tough on crime, it believes that those who have paid their debt to society and worked hard to better themselves while in prison deserve a second chance.
So some are pointing out that he likes to give pardons based on celebrities beseeching him, like Sylvester Stallone in the case of Jack Johnson and Kim Kardashian in this case. Don't care. I don't care who's doing it. If it's the right thing to do, I don't care why he's doing it. So we should celebrate the pardon of Alice Marie Johnson. First time offense, life in prison. Man, this system is brutal. And by the way, Obama did not pardon her. And so I'm going to get to more credit to Donald Trump in a second. Now, do I know that it's because he's trying to set a precedent for pardons? He's got apparently dozens lined up now, so that when he pardons his own guys, it doesn't seem as outrageous. Yeah, I follow politics. Okay, I have logic. So of course that's why he's doing it. So do I care about that? Yes. Does that mean he shouldn't have pardoned Alice Marie Johnson? No, that doesn't mean that. He did a good thing here. Credit where credit is due. One of our viewers predicted I would say that, and I did during the live show. And now the other thing is they say, well, hypocrisy, because he said some drug dealers should get a death sentence, but here he is pardoning someone because Kim Kardashian asked him to. Don't care.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There aren't very moments during the Trump era where good things happen. It's very rare that I get a news alert on my phone, I look down and I think, oh, thank God. That never happens. That never happens. So I know, we all know that his reasons might be disingenuous. We all know that he gets influenced, inspired, motivated by all the wrong reasons. But I don't care. In this case, she deserved that sentence to be commuted, and I'm so incredibly happy that this happened. And I'm so proud of Kim Kardashian for doing this. Look, I don't care what her past is. We all have things in our past that we hate. I have been critical of her past, okay? But with that said, what she's doing now is so great and so important. And she had been communicating quite a bit with Jared Kushner about this issue because he wants to champion prison reform, which credit where credit is due. If we get more good news, including stories like this, then I'm all for it.
And you are allowed to judge things case by case. You're allowed to say, hey, Kushner's bad on 99 other things, but he's good on this. And hey, some of the other pardons I don't agree with. Some of the pardons that he did of his political allies, Dinesh D'Souza, Joe Arpaio, Scooter Libby, were so out of left field. They didn't go through any of the regular pardon process. So the pardon office is like, what? But it's funnier than that. They didn't even call Scooter Libby's attorney. Scooter Libby's attorney saw on TV that his client had been pardoned. And he's like, what? He's like, they didn't even tell me that they pardoned my client. The family and friends of Scooter Libby are like, what, you got pardoned? I didn't know that.
I know, it's kind of incredible. Okay, so we all know the real reason, the main reason, the primary reason why Trump is issuing all these pardons, right? But I have a speculation that I want to share with you. So
that's
usually these pardons happen through the Justice Department. Of course, the president, as was the case with Trump, can issue pardons or commute sentences without involving the Justice Department. He could do it by himself on his own, and that's what he did here. The Justice Department isn't, especially with Jeff Sessions involved, they are not very friendly to inmates or people who have been convicted of crimes.
Yes.
They usually do not offer pardons in this volume. So I'm wondering if part of it, a little underlying factor could also be his disdain for Jeff Sessions. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the theory, it's fun, but I just don't think that Trump bothers to give anything a second thought. So that would involve 2 layers of thought. And he's probably like, Kardashian asked me to do it. We took a nice picture. It was a beautiful, strong picture in the White House. And apparently in the meeting, he told her, you and Kanye are helping me with the black people. So not the black people, let me be fair, with black voters, okay? With black voters, so you're doing a great job. So who do you need to pardon, okay? So the Sessions thing is like 2 layers deep. But I will tell you this is the very rare good anti-establishment thing that Trump does. Because the establishment, John Kelly's chief of staff.
Doesn't like it.
No, doesn't want it. Why do you think Obama didn't pardon it? Because everybody would have yelled at him in the establishment, now remember, we're tough on crime, and you look weak on crime. And she was involved in a multi-million-dollar drug ring and involved cocaine, it's so scary, right? So don't do it, Obama, don't do it. And he's like, okay, I didn't do it. And any old Republican president, Pence or anybody else, they wouldn't have done it. They would sort of listen to the same establishment guys. So yes, 9 out of 10 times he's a knucklehead, and that winds up hurting us because he doesn't think things through. In this one case, he's against the establishment in that way. Wonderful, terrific. Now, I do want to clarify one last thing about a bad pardon he did, Dinesh D'Souza, who's going around on TV both making an ass of himself, but at the same time like doing a dance, like, yeah, I told you I didn't do it. No, actually, you told us you did do it, that's why you pled guilty. So I want to clarify that, and this is from the Office of the Pardon Attorney in the Justice Department. Quote, a presidential pardon is ordinarily a sign of forgiveness. A pardon is not a sign of vindication and does not connote or establish innocence. In fact, it's the opposite. You have to say, I did it, I'm so sorry, but I served my time, which is exactly what Elisa Marie Johnson did. She did it exactly right and got the pardon, or at least commuting her sentence that she deserved. D'Souza is going around going, no, I didn't do it, that's why I got pardoned. Unsurprising that he doesn't understand how a pardon works or what it means, and of course, neither does Trump. So score 1 for Trump on the Johnson pardon, and we'll judge the rest case by case.
Yes.